Mapping the timeline of genres and their popularity is a really funny
Yeah,
thing. Some areas
it's sometimes strange.
the fact they have a certain type of game that was really popular.
True.
Xbox 360 and PS3 were defined by shooter games and
Kinda, yeah.
3D platformers, and the
Yeah.
was defined specifically by sticky balls, and that's it.
What?
It's also interesting to see where these genres
I have no idea what he was referring to.
like finding a halfway decent 3D platform on the original Xbox, dirtbag.
Yeah.
Genres that shone the brightest and then died the hardest. Beat 'em ups have to take that crown. You could throw a
Yeah,
crowd
they're
of
everywhere.
probably hit a beat 'em up, and you'd also cause several $100 worth of damages. But who's counting? The genre was everywhere in the late 80s to early
Yeah.
90s. Capcom
Gotta
was
beat
leading
'em
the
up,
charge with
man.
games like Final Fight and Captain Commando.
Gotta
Konami
kick
was
him down.
perfecting the genre with games like X-Men.
We don't have to beat up everyone, Fable.
Up the Genesis with games
We
like Streets of
do.
Rage and Golden Axe. Beat 'em ups were the king of arcades and home consoles until the PS1
Ew.
released and every single developer making them turned to dust.
Yeah.
Is the hard cutoff.
Oh, dear God.
Popularity. With
That looked terrible. What the hell was that?
I
games moving to
don't
3D and
know.
pixel are considered old news. Seriously,
Oh.
games like Metal Slug and Mega Man X4 were outdated.
I miss
Metal
Wow.
Metal Slug.
And beat 'em ups were one of those genres that just doesn't play well with 3D.
Funny enough, Fable, there is Metal Slug Tactics on, over on, get it, on, Steam right now.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
if
I
you
know
want
that.
that.
Most
Some of
failed,
the
and it
most
seemed like
Dear
legend.
God, that head.
same dustbin as other quarter-munching high-score arcade games. Now, while consoles had all but abandoned beat-em-ups, the GBA specifically was one of the last safe havens for the genre. Games like Gekido Advance, Astro Boy, and Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure were fun, but sadly not enough to invigorate larger-scale interest in the genre. Other games had taken cues
Oh
from
my God.
Yakuza or
Definitely.
the Arkham games, not to mention the hack-and-slash genre is basically the beat-em-up's edgy younger brother.
That's actually kind of true, but at the same time, not
You
Kind-
really.
smell a beat 'em up a mile away.
Kinda, they're a lot more
Let's save
technical.
This for the next Bad Dudes versus Dragons.
Bad dudes?
However, the end of the 2000s came and
What the hell is bad dudes?
People were getting closer to death.
Wow.
Nostalgia was finally in vogue with larger developers, and what genre evokes more nostalgia than beat 'em ups?
Yeah,
Platformers,
there's so many.
puzzle games, racing
Yeah.
games, shooter games. Okay.
There's a lot of them.
Place isn't bad. That's like a tinfoil medal. Before this, the last real pulse we had felt from beat 'em ups was in 1996 with Dungeons and Dragons: Shadows over Mystara.
Oh.
Then and now you
Oh,
can
dear.
count the number of beat 'em ups worth playing on.
I didn't know that was a thing.
3 fingers to
Beautiful Joe.
Come 2008, we got
I never
Crash
played
Bandicoot
Beautiful Joe.
2010,
I regret it.
Double
I'm gonna
versus the
play it
World.
someday.
Double Dragon Neon in 2012 was a very obvious reason for the comeback of beat 'em ups. See, with platforms
Yeah.
like the Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation,
Castle Crashers was fun.
Ooh, I love Castle Crashers. I play that so much with friends.
Short length and multiplayer.
We need to play that someday.
Games for downloadable titles. From there, we had games like Dragon's Crown.
Oh yeah, Dragon's Crown.
Vita does count. Streets of
It does.
Only the parts with a nostalgia critic in it. Fighting Rage, River City Girls, The Takeover.
River City Girls is also pretty good.
Capcom releasing bundles of their old
What the hell is that?
Beat 'em ups are well and truly back in full force like they were in the 90s.
I don't
They
know.
do best to solidify that return. The same reptile is responsible for what many say is the best
Castle
beat 'em up
Crashers
of all
was
time. That's right.
cracked
you thought
out
that was the
pretty
easiest
much.
lesson you were getting today. You haven't even gotten to the transition yet.
What? Oh my God, Fable. They're all turtles.
Turtles.
There's not a turtle archetype as far as I can tell, but there are a bunch of turtle cards.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. There's Turtle Tiger over there in the corner. There's also Catapult Turtle. There's no turtle deck. And there'll never be a platypus deck, Platty. Never ever.
Why not?
Have you ever thought about
Because there's not even a platypus card.
Yes, obviously.
Wow, I'm
you
so
have.
sorry,
You have ears
Platty.
that function, so you realize that stringing those four
Yeah.
words together is just a word soup of things that a child may look at and think, yes, very good. You piqued my interest. I think we've all just
I mean, the Ninja Turtles are just 3 adjectives put on the word turtle. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's kind of crazy how big they've become since their humble beginnings as a shoot-off comic.
You mean an underground comic?
Yeah, it's insane. I love these little guys. Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, and I can just recite their names automatically. Well, there's also the Kaiju deck. Well, we don't...
Also, question, what do you mean Donatello has bodies? What the frick are you talking about? My man's killing people? The fuck?
No, I'm saying that they've been around a long time and have been alive for a long time. And we ain't getting rid of them anytime soon.
No, that's what someone literally said in the chat earlier. Let me see.
No.
I'll look for it.
I did not see that in the chat. Also, I am drinking sweet tea, if anyone wonders what I usually drink.
Here you
Either
go.
that or water.
Here you go. Did you know cross Ninja Turtles media, Donatello has got the most bodies? It was Common who said it earlier.
Ah, okay.
Gotten so used to the phrase Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that hearing it out loud doesn't even register anymore.
Pretty much.
Turtle brothers in the sewers of New York, raised by a mutated rat who taught them kung fu and fight off a living cheese grater who, depending on
Yeah.
the is just an edgy Kirby enemy. Okay, personally,
I love
that
2001.
was layered in May of 1984 for Mirage Comics, which was just their apartment, but it had a logo.
Oh yeah, that was Mirage.
Started life as a
Oh my god.
sketch of just that, a Ninja Turtle. Eventually, the sketch got passed back and forth between one another to the point they had all four turtles with their own unique weapons.
Wow.
The idea a year later, they decided to make the story an homage to the Frank Miller run of Daredevil comics.
Really?
Doing this was by saying, yeah, you know Daredevil's origins? Well, didn't you see the four turtles that were there too?
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot this. They're technically connected to. That's insane.
Yeah, it's also making fun of the fact that in the Daredevil comics, he deals with the hand while the turtles deal with the foot.
With the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
After Lion King 1.5ing their way into an origin story down to swapping out the Daredevil ninja team The Hand for a team called
Yeah.
Also, I just want to
Quite
say,
literally, yeah.
I just want to say this. To those of you that don't know about the specific reason why the turtles have their weapons, it's because of their personalities. I mean, I think a lot of people realize that, but yeah, each one represents their personalities. Leo's is the fact that he has one day that his actions will have consequences being the leader, so he has to get ready for the fact that sometimes people will get hurt, such as the double katanas.
Which is why he has the most deadly weapon, the one that causes the most precision, but also the most damage.
Yes, it also represents the fact that his leadership will come with consequences, and he has to be ready for that. Let's see. Raphael's, given his nature is very aggressive, his weapons are mostly used for defense, which is kind of funny because he's the most aggressive out of his brothers. Donatello, being a genius and always trying to do technology-based stuff, was given a wooden staff. It seems a bit unfair, but it's actually supposed to help him think on his feet and be very creative with what he does. And the last of all, Mikey's was given was given basically nunchucks to help him stay focused, because it's actually the weapon that you have to use to be very focused. Yes, he's very scatterbrained. But it's actually funny because if you actually look at how Mikey is, he can still mess around while using his nunchucks. He's literally found a way to mess around and still use the most weapon you have to concentrate the most with.
Oh, also, hello, Tyr. How are you? It's good to see you. Also, yep, the plushy wolf. Anyway, yeah, that's a lot of what it's about, and also, damn it, I forgot my thought logic, my line of thought.
To buy this.
How dare you?
Giving them out at Halloween was off the table for a few months. They
Oh yeah,
ads and...
I was about to say something real quick while he's going over the ads for basically the comics. What I was gonna say is go watch the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Batman. Do it. It's really good. It's a good movie. It's amazingly good. It gives you everything you would want with a title like that. Also, yeah, it's surprising how they have more crossovers with DC than Marvel.
Comic buyer's guides to try to drum up support. They ended up playing a full symphony of success as they sold through the original 3,000 copies, and a
3,000!
15,000 copies sold of issue 2 led the pair to full time, with each issue a bigger success than the last.
I wish I could have something like that.
But what's important to remember is that this was indie comic success in the 80s. This was well before independent publishing was something regularly done. Word of mouth really saved the Turtles in this time. Before the internet, all they really had were those ads, so they needed the good faith of the people who read the comics to advertise for them. While retaining full creative control, these two managed to put up numbers that turned the heads of a lot of powerful people, including Mark.
They would want it.
He was an agent from the Darklands, proposing a deal for a massive
What the hell?
Now, most people who had tried this
Let's see the movie. Is this a good movie? Yes, it is.
Shooting their nose bones into their prefrontal cortex,
Oh.
on a whim, they'd chosen to hear out Mark. Within 30 days, Mark had gotten them a deal with Playmate Toys, which, while they decided to work with Eastman and Laird, didn't exactly love the current version of the Turtles. Why was that? Weren't they the
Not kid-friendly.
Because the Turtles were okay with killing at that point.
Shredder in the first issue.
And
Shredder.
yeah.
Oh, he in the first issue.
Yeah, and a lot of the the actual comics kind of dealt with things like drugs and other such topics a lot. Well, a lot of comics we don't see nowadays deal with. So yeah.
Edgy turtles.
Yeah, again, indie comics back 80s, they had a lot of freedom.
They were all red. So a few
For those that don't know, every time I say "Tonight I dine on platypus soup," I make a reference to Second Mutation, the movie from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
were in order.
Mhm.
1988 was the beginning of the second era of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, as the first
Yeah.
cartoon was being shopped around to various stations with a 5-part miniseries.
And there's April.
Softer than the original comics, mostly using the origin and concepts from the comics to tell
Yeah.
stories more conducive to a Saturday morning cartoon rather than grindhouse body horror. It did bring in its own editions,
Yeah.
several millions of dollars for the people involved. Turtles,
Oh.
a more ethically sourced version of Hulkamania, ran wild on America. Overnight, a gritty little independent comic was the talk of the town.
Yep.
It cannot be overstated how much of a success the Turtles were. People of a certain age know that for a time, if you weren't a Ninja Turtle, you
Yeah.
were lame. That success
Yeah.
spun off into a film
Of
made
course.
for only $13 million. That's a snot rocket's worth of money in Hollywood, and without a
Oh.
major distributor, was actually an independent film.
Really?
The Blair
I
Witch
did not
Project
know
was
this.
The highest grossing independent film ever made.
God
The
damn.
series would continue on until 1996.
Oh, he didn't reference the fact that Jim Henson worked on that movie. Because I feel like that's very important, the master puppeteer. Jim Henson! And with the Shredder's demise so quickly in the comics, probably how it came being more significant there, despite being obscure outside the comics. Didn't have yeah, they originally all had red, because it's supposed to be the ninja way of making you think that you can clone yourself in a way.
Actually, you want to know something interesting? When the IDW run first started, because Raph was separated from his brothers, Master Splinter had them all wearing red, as a way to kind of signify / remember him. But basically, I think it was also to pay tribute to the original Mirage run. But yeah, that was the thing. And then when they got him back, I think in issue 1 or 2, he basically gave them the different colors of the turtles we know.
Oh, cool. But yeah, 2000s and 2012s were really good Warrior of Light.
The Turtles would have 2 more movies of descending quality, with it continuing to balloon
Ooh.
into live performances of their album, and then a
What?
documentary about said tour based on their album.
What?
Entirely in kayfabe. They had this smelly prick show off Leonardo's
What the hell?
guitar like any kids were gonna say, how the fuck is he playing that? And a Christmas special where the Turtles fought to overcome full-body necrosis by the look of their suits. I mean, they
hell?
did get a pair of wrestlers made in their image named the Toxic Turtles. And for
Really?
those wondering, yes, indeed, it did die a death in front of that crowd.
Why is this a thing?
Listen. Turtle Mania was a thing. Don't question it. Just accept
If
it.
you're thinking, this is quite a lot of...
Listen, I love the Ninja Turtles as much as the next guy, but
to reverse engineer America by the late 90s. There was only so much turtle
Yeah.
to be taken in at one time, and the 90s had reached a critical mass. People were, for lack of a better term, completely sick of our half-shelled heroes.
yeah.
Often was nailed shut by teenage...
By the way, I've heard the new comics are actually pretty good.
It depends on the current. It depends on the. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It depends on who's the current writer, because at the end of the IDW run, the writer had a lot of ideas, didn't implement them properly, and it kind of was a slow death. And it's just really stupid. The current run is really good. However, it's kind of hard to get into because they're doing that thing where, because it's a new run, they're giving a lot of new artists different shots to see how the fans like it. Some of the art is good. Donnie's the person that took on the Donnie issue, not so much. It's kind of questionable, and I think probably they should work on something else that's not turtle related. But it's cool that different companies do give shots to up and coming writers and artists to try to give them a shot at the business.
I'll say, Fable, I didn't think you have so much to say about the Ninja Turtles.
Dude, the Ninja Turtles have literally been my hyperfixation since I was a kid. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I am honestly a whore when it comes to the Turtles, all right? I'm saying it. I don't care. That's me.
Oh, I was just gonna say, we should really get Fable an editor and just have him speak out these lines about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles current comic run. And just have the editor, do some their magic around what he's saying.
Yes, but at the same time, just know that I will have so many opinions that may go against YouTube's TOS, and I don't give a crap.
Of course you do.
Listen,
Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation.
I love the Turtles, dude.
Cartoon done in live action by
Oh, no.
Saban, the same guy.
Saban?
Mighty Morphin Power Ranger.
No.
Of the brand, they added a fifth turtle named Venus, and
Venus
Oh,
de Milo,
what?
one of the best / worst additions to the series.
But it did get a crossover with Power Rangers.
It did?
It was almost worth it.
Wow, I did not know about this.
I said
Oh,
almost. From there, Kevin Eastman sold his share in the Turtles to Peter Laird, as they had been working.
oh my God,
was
Mikey.
originally a joke for the better part of
That's
10
the
years.
that's the
This
Power
one
Rangers in
just
space, by the way, in case nobody knows.
I knew. I wasn't going to say
Yeah,
anything, but yeah,
in
that's
case.
Power Rangers in space.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Rangers in space. Said, are we just turning Fable into a turtle?
Listen, if you guys can get me a PNG of me as a turtle, I will love you forever. I'm not kidding. I don't know why I haven't done that yet. Oh yeah, because money, and I forget, but mostly money.
Yeah. Honestly, me and a friend who's actually watched Power Rangers should do also videos, which is Medica, of course it is. But yeah. Pretty weird that the Ninja Turtles were overly advertised into ignorance. I guess DC heroes have more nuance in their advertised back then. Oh wait, no, especially not. Apparently, I learned that, DC really never cared about Harley Quinn. They just use her for merchandise.
Yeah. You want to know something
prefer-
interesting? Don't.
I prefer. Oh, I'm reading comments. Someone get on that. Preferably, I prefer the Power Rangers time. Before Time Force, I prefer Lightspeed Rescue, but that's me. Anyway, go ahead.
You want to know something interesting? Venus de Milo was kind of at first only an exclusive to the New Mutation, which was the live action show of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She actually did come out in the comics. It's just it's a very interesting way they brought her back into the comics, because technically she wasn't a turtle. She was a punk fraud. She was a punk fraud that was experimented on and turned into a turtle, but technically she's like a weird Frankenstein lady, because she's dead. But apparently they're like, hey, let's add the crazy ass mystic side of it and turn her into like a weird dragon powered turtle lady. I wish I was kidding. When I first saw her in the comics, I'm like, I like her design, and when the artists at the time first announced it, I'm like, are those stitches? I even asked them. They of course couldn't answer because I think it was like one of those NDA kind of things, but legitimately I'm like, are those stitches? So yeah, she's a freaking Frankenstein monster. It's kind of interesting. Also incredibly stupid. But hey, it's been years since we saw her, so I guess, yay, Venus de Milo fans, rise up.
Also, time for my favorite series of the Ninja Turtles.
2003 and the Turtles.
Yeah!
The new show produced
Teenage
by
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
TMNT 2003
1, 2, 3, 4
previous
Turtles.
series, airing alongside
Yeah, it was pretty dark at times.
Oh, that's because it's followed the Mirage comics.
Oh,
yeah.
Got several on-screen deaths, the decapitation
Yeah.
of the Spider, and the Saturday morning body horror that is Baxter Stockman's entire existence.
Yeah.
I don't want to get speculative.
Remember how Baxter Stockman just every once in a while would more pieces of himself just off screen?
Yeah. That's because it followed the Mirage comics.
Yeah, Baxter got done dirty. That's because every time he failed Shredder just took another piece off, and he kept having to replace more of his bits and pieces.
Might have been a little biased.
Ah.
The series would go on
Do
for
you
6
want him to
years and
become
6
Baxter
seasons with
Stockfly?
incredibly weird breaks where they'd go
No.
to the future and then back to the
I was just saying.
No, I know, I'm
2017,
asking
an
chat.
incredibly odd time where we got another Turtles movie that would air alongside the show, but not be based on it, and it was its own thing.
Turtles in Time.
If you can get past the fact it's a movie about stone statue hunting demons that coincidentally
I honestly like this movie.
That movie was
actually pretty
really good. I love that movie. So this is gonna kind of seem kind of dumb, and I don't care if anyone thinks I'm bad at this. Well, when I was in high school when this came out. Basically, I asked someone if he could make me if he could literally get me a digital copy of it at the time, because it hadn't been come out in DVD yet. But yeah, I literally paid like $3 for that copy. I don't regret it to this day.
Yeah, I played the tie-in game. It was pretty good. But yeah, I feel like the story was actually really good, and I kind of liked that Leo was coming back from a meditative state and everyone had kind of moved on to what they're doing. And of course, Raph is trying to be a vigilante.
Yeah, because that's just Raph. Raph is Raph.
He's always that way.
Bentley has a Ninja Turtles subplot. It's pretty alright, I guess. After the 2003 show wrapped, Mirage and Laird fully sold the rights to the Turtles to Viacom, owners of Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, this one.
Nick June is back, baby! Nick!
Oh my god.
August! It would be 3 years until the Ninja Turtles...
This one was okay.
Alright, I'm gonna be completely honest. I have a really silly story about this show. So, what happened was, I got so into the show. One time, when this one episode where a certain event happened, I was literally gonna cry, and I called, and I sent a bunch of messages to my friend, and as soon as she called me, she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was explaining I was crying, and she's like, "What's the name of the show?" And I was like, "It was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." She's like, "Oh my god, I thought you were watching like an anime or like a soap opera. What happened?" I was not kidding. I wanted to cry, dude. I got so invested in this show when this event happened. And my friend literally is just like, "I thought you were watching anime or a soap opera, the way you were talking about it." I'm like, "It's important to me." She's like,
Honestly,
there.
Fable, when Fable gets connected with a character, he is willing to cry over any little bit that happens to him.
Yeah, but it's just interesting because like I don't connect as easy to characters like my friends do, but I do feel things. It's just
Sure
sad.
about them. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't watch soap operas, but yeah, the show has the most hand. Okay.
I can't. Soap operas are so predictable to me.
Yeah, I know. It's why I prefer actual anime, but yeah, I hope one day me and Fable can write our own series. It'll just take time. Anyway.
There's a lot of talk about which Ninja Turtle show was the best.
Yeah.
The classic one, 2003, or 2012. But at least we can all agree, it's definitely 2012.
Oh my god, no.
The return to live action for the Turtles.
Oh yeah, Michael Bay.
Michael Bay's version pisses me off.
And made them look just...
Let's took the Turtles for Super Mutants is right. Dear God.
It pisses me off.
I hate that Michael Bay got so many connections to all this stuff.
My friend,
they're gigantic.
My friend sometimes sings the song to me, and I'm like, "Stop it."
Oh yeah, Rocksteady and Beatbox were live action.
You know what that means.
Oh.
This brand of turtles wrapped up, and we got a new.
Oh yeah, Rise of the TMNT.
Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Thank you for naming it something other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Awkwardly shove a number into a perfectly fine name.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Draw my own conclusions on it, but I will say.
Can I be honest about Rise?
Sure.
So here's the thing. We're gonna have a lot of stops because this is a topic I really enjoy. So if that bothers you, eat lemons. Anyway, here's the problem I had with Rise. I feel like it took too long to get good. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but like at start, when you first see the 2012 style from CGI to this, it kind of is like a whiplash. The show had a lot of potential, and it was really good. It's just by the time it started showing off its amazing potential, it had already gotten canceled. And like a lot of people slept on it, yeah.
The main reason people slept on it is because the advertisements did not do it any services.
Yeah.
Like, quite literally, it made it seem to be like it was like Teen Titans Go for Ninja Turtles fans, and we had gotten too many good shows with too many good characterizations and made us care about these mutant turtles for that to happen. So I was just avoiding it completely because I'm like, oh, they're making it like this. So I passed on it because they did not do it any good. Like, sure, it can be more comedy-oriented, but it made it seem like everyone, as one person put, were just Michelangelo.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing. A lot of people will defend the fact that they got different personalities compared to how they usually are, which is fine if done right. But yeah, a lot of the time, it felt like Shaq just said, it felt more comedy-oriented than action, which can work. It's just you have to find a balance for it. But as the story progressed and the action started picking up and the animation became very fluid, and like we started to see the turtles the way they were supposed to be or the way they could be as they matured, it had been already too late. And then the movie came out and it's amazing. And a lot of people are like, this is because you all slept on it. I'm like, I slept on it. I'm going to be completely honest. I did. And I don't regret it because the show wasn't good in the beginning. It got better, but it just took too long is the problem.
It's the same problem that we're having with, I should say this, with originally the Transformers 1 movie. The reason people slept on it is because the advertisements were not doing it any favor.
Right. The advertisements did it absolutely no justice. It was just like doing stupid memes. It's just like, guys, what is this movie about? Why are you just showing random clips that don't make any sense? Is this how you market nowadays? Because that's not right.
I mean, the 2012 did add a bunch of new things, but yeah, overall, it was a lot like '03. But yeah, funny enough, even the turtles are different kinds of turtles. Like Raph is a snapping turtle in Rise of the TMT.
Right.
Yeah. The only design I didn't like was the redo of Splinter. I'm sorry, but I really don't like that design for him.
You don't like Fat Rat Dad?
No. I prefer when he's lean and mean.
Two things. One,
Okay.
Flying Bark TV animation is making the best TV animation right now. Have you seen this show in Monkey King?
Yeah, it's crazy in motion.
Second is that this show had its back broken by Nickelodeon cutting its second season in half, which is something that Nickelodeon likes to do after a stressful day.
The biggest problem I will also say about that is Nickelodeon loves to tear apart any good show they get their hands on or any good idea, so it's not completely the viewer's fault, because either way, Nickelodeon loves to do that to anything that isn't SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. Regardless, the Rise series has written to take it on a creative turn. Yeah. Oh, the comics fable. This is your thing.
Since was the reuniting of Eastman and Laird after years of not speaking to work together on the
Oh, this is the original work? Original creators.
Yeah.
But I'm not an animation channel, no matter what.
You want to know something interesting?
Talking about animation and
What?
That is how the original creators wanted the series to end.
Oh.
That's how the original vision of the series was supposed to end, with basically, sadly, the turtles dying, Mikey living up to his potential, and then someone else taking over. That was the original intent. Which is kind of crazy, but it made sense.
That reminds me of the series where Mikey was the leader and there was a bunch of kids in like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like mecha. And I feel like that could have been a fun series.
It could.
Where we look and see where like Donnie, or they get trained by a bunch of the different turtles as old men.
Right.
We should make that. We should do that.
Oh dear.
If you guys want to see us make a comic like that, tell me down below, because I would love to do that. It's just, I need money to do these things. So please keep watching a lot more of my videos. Money to make my creations. They're also near and dear to my heart, but yeah.
June would say. We talk about Vidi gems here, and Turtles lots of them.
They do.
The Turtles game was the creatively titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1989 for the NES.
Oh.
This was a weird transition period where they were mixing and matching cartoon and comic iconography. Cover art was Comics Turtles with the all-red headbands, but they're color-coded in the game. Shredder is a little after the comics, but April is cartoon. Oh yeah, and the game sucks too, but I really want to focus on that sprite art. This is infamous for being one of, if not the
yeah, it looks terrible.
reasons. They gave all the turtles their weapons from the show, which is great news for Donatello and Leo, while Raph are left in a ditch because their weapons are terrible. The game is filled with impossible jumps, sometimes literally in the case of the DOS version of the game, and then there's the dam level. It's one of the most frustrating levels in the
Have you played this Fable?
I can't say I have,
this
no.
game as a total dud, which in fairness is fair, so people didn't exactly have high hopes going into the follow-up released the same year. Teenage Mutant Ninja, fuck you! This was the Turtles' official
Yeah, they said
entry point
DOS
into the beat 'em up
version.
genre with all the trademarks.
Oh my god.
Control,
They did a DOS version, yes.
characters, beautiful backgrounds, and tough boss fights.
Yeah.
It would later be adapted to a pretty faithful one-for-one recreation on the NES, and from there things got exponentially more confusing as the next game released was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4. Excuse me? Yeah, in terms of release dates, it goes Ninja Turtles 1, Ninja Turtles 1, 4, 2, 3.
What?
When trying to figure
Is
out
that Turtles in Time?
fills which number slot.
I guess so.
1 is Ninja Turtles 1. Is the original NES game 1 and the arcade game 2? Or is it that the arcade
I
game
don't
is
know.
1 and the port is number 2? Is the game called Ninja Turtles 2 actually number 2? Or is it ignored because it was just on the Game Boy? Confusion
I have no
over how many
idea.
of these things there were aside, TMNT Turtles in Time is widely considered the best
I
beat 'em up
played
ever
that. I
made.
love
The
that
best
one
of
so
everything.
much.
Best graphics. Best best gameplay, and most
It looks
importantly,
good too.
best
It's
support.
so
Unlike
much
the ports to the
fun.
NES, you weren't stuck with a downgraded reimagining of the arcade game.
Yeah, I redo my
The
video.
version was all but perfect. The all but
It's fine.
the lack
Did you
of
know
pixel
Shredder's
power
Revenge
was
is
the
literally a
main thing.
direct sequel to Turtles in Time?
No, I did not.
Yeah, seriously, Shredder's Revenge, the one we got for The one we got for the on Steam is literally a direct sequel to Turtles in Time, which I thought is beautiful. And even if that's not true, which I hope I heard that, but if someone corrects me and says it's not, I appreciate it, but this is my canon, so please leave and have a good day.
But yeah, I'm looking at comments. We missed a huge opportunity. Not the Teenage Mutant had full Magic phase. Tell me another series dedicated to Magic. Yeah, we usually go more of the tech angle, do the aliens and the Krang and Usagi and all them.
Actually, what's kind of interesting is in Rise they actually tried to do more Mystic stuff. Too bad it was probably not the best series to try to do Mystic stuff. Because Rise, you know.
Yeah.
Besides, it's so funny if Donnie doesn't believe in magic, which is still hilarious because they like literally deal with they literally deal with mystical problems from time to time.
I would see all of the turtles just looking at him, like giving him that look.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, those are also the monsters from Shredder's Revenge. I remember that.
Cannot stress
They're from the movie too, actually. I think.
Turtles in Time
Yeah.
had to be abbreviated to 4
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I remember that
it would
fight.
become the most iconic turtle
Yeah.
game. Ask anybody to envision a Turtles game
It's
and they would
General
no doubt bring
Krang.
up Turtles in Time. That's
Yep,
because
and
of
his
how
weird robot.
recognizable it was, and half because the games that came out after didn't really stand a chance of beating it.
Oh.
Ultimate Fighter was the next major game.
Wait, what?
And its big claim to fame was the fact that nobody could figure out who this character was meant to be for years and years. After
Is it
that,
Karai?
Turtle games were released until the 4th and 5th games to be named Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 2003 to coincide with the new show. These were four-player 3D beat-em-ups, and
I remember this one.
games that I started out my own illustrious turtle.
This game was terrible.
I played these before I even knew what the Ninja Turtles were. I really just jumped.
I never got past one of the like Robo Kid boss fight.
Really?
Battle Nexus and Mutant Nightmare with each
Yeah, it's because he kept destroying the barrels, and for some reason my version wouldn't have the barrels come back, so I was just stuck.
That seems
It's
that seems like a problem more with the game, like your copy than the actual game itself at that point.
I know.
Anyway, go on.
Lower scores with number 2.
I remember this dude, ancient dude.
After that,
Bishop?
they stay in a sort of weird place of, well, we're making...
Yeah, I don't remember the agent's guy's name.
Yeah, his name is Agent Bishop.
Mutant Melee and Smash Up was their attempt to get into the party fighter market. TMNT was a tie-in to the movie. And
Yeah,
the
it was pretty good.
2012 era started. Out of the Shadows was a disgusting-looking Arkham clone that was one of the games featured at the XP
Really?
Summer of Arcade event. This predated the Bay Turtles. They're ugly and horrible in their own way. Whereas the Turtles games managed to sneak by undetected from the general gaming press surrounding bad games, Out of the Shadows ironically shone a great big light on how bad. There was the 2012 series government-mandated tie-in game, which had all
course
the arcade games without any of the charm. There's the 2014 movie game on 3DS.
Oh dear God,
that looks bad.
It's an action RPG.
Yeah.
TMNT Mutants in Manhattan is a game that marked a lot of firsts for the Turtles.
Oh, dude, I'm so mad about that.
Did this one get canceled?
No, it's the fact that we can't play it because it was on Steam, but because Steam. No, the problem is this.
Oh, that was by Platinum?
Yeah,
Oh
Platinum.
God.
The problem is Platinum Games lost their contract or didn't want to continue working with Steam, so it's not possible to buy Mutants and and Manhattan anymore. And it's just such ass. It's literally, it's not lost media, but it kind of feels like it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sucks because I wanted to play this with my friends so bad, but no.
Yeah.
Turtles games to rank number 4 on Pro Jared's top 10 worst games of 2016 list, so that's gotta be a good sign. From there, Turtles were relegated to crossover games like.
Oh yeah, they were getting in Injustice for some reason.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
They announced a brand new
It's not the weirdest thing because for some reason the people, I forget the name of the company that makes Mortal Kombat, had just started putting a lot of people in these games.
Right.
They put so many just like killers in the recent Mortal Kombat 1.
Game. First with an animated trailer.
Oh.
confirming it wasn't a next mutation game. I know a lot of people
Oh.
are tired of nostalgia pander with franchises like this and the Power Rangers treating the original series like the only one worth going back to, but with the Turtles it's a little less egregious, since
Yeah.
only 4 main series as opposed to the Power Rangers 200 or so, and those series either being shot in the back of the head but longer ago, or
Yeah.
in legal troubles as it was co-produced by 4Kids. Not only was the actual
Yeah.
just with the team behind Scott Pilgrim vs. the World tackling it, but
Really? I didn't know that was them.
deeper than before. No,
I just like that they're working on the computer while we're doing this.
Flash to the whole thing. Add on top of that features like 6-player multiplayer and non-turtle characters like April and Splinter, and this was set to be a
Yeah, and Casey.
title. So much that I didn't, despite how much I know that this is an
Yeah,
odd
and
game
for some
to
reason
make
now we have
so
Mona
this
Lisa
game
and
is
Mondo
only a month
Gecko.
or so old. This isn't an obscure GameCube game,
Which is so strange.
Yeah, no, she was literally a one-off character.
So when you consider,
Mm.
I'm not even a big Turtles fan. I mean,
Really?
2003 show,
Alright,
loved
he's
the
dead to me.
2012 show, but other than that,
What did you say, Fable?
He's dead to me.
Oh my god. Balance Fall, Platinum's Fall. Yeah, apparently it was originally an alright game until they were forced to change it to something more service heavy. Mondo is not so strange. He fits in a way. I mean, I guess.
it's cool, and I own
It's
this
just not many
comic
people
Congo
know
Robots,
about Mondo
kinda
Gecko,
like a
though.
Ninja Turtle. I'm coming into this game as a bigger beat-em-up fan than I am a Turtles fan, so I think I
Oh.
have a pretty unique perspective on things. Let's see where this game ends up on the chart I rate all games on. Quality of Ninja Turtle live-action costume. See,
Oh.
Hill is a TMNT 1 costume, Bumbles like a TMNT 3 or Out of Our Shells costume, and
What the
Ultimate
hell?
Peachy is a Christmas special. So the game starts with the same animated opening from the trailer before giving you the option of either arcade or story. The difference is enough that I ended
Yeah.
up playing through both, as well as an additional playthrough of the story mode to test out characters. Speaking of characters, you get the choice of all 6 of them, with Casey Jones being locked behind a playthrough of story mode despite being shown off in trailers.
Oh.
This game innovates on the beat-em-up formula of their characters being tough guy, fast guy, and guy for the person who only picks Mario when playing Mario Kart. Each character has their own stat line that varies them up from one another without enough technical complexity to make them play really different from one another. If you learn a good combo rhythm with one, you learn
Yeah,
it from
I get excited whenever I see Wingnut appear in a game or series. I love that.
Wingnut.
There's so many strange character names like Metalhead, Leatherhead. So big. Anyway,
There's old Hobbs
yeah,
in the
they're-
comic. He's a cat. He was literally a cat, and he's a dick.
anyway.
So whenever me and my brother would play games like this, or Teen Titans, or Nicktoons Unite, I'd
Oh.
always stick with one character and refuse to play as any other one. Beast Boy, SpongeBob, I was a real
Oh.
stinker, and for the Ninja Turtles game,
Who is it?
playing as Leonardo, you can bet I was whining to my mom about it, so we don't get blue for this one. So the game's
Alright, my favorite turtle.
subtitle, the Shredder is back, and he
Metalhead,
wants
Shredhead.
What for? I don't know. Pick a decapitation and just say it was that. We rush over to the first level and get thrown headfirst into combat. There was a short screen earlier telling us how to play, but I do my best to work on the job. Your main controls are movement, a jump button, basic attack, dodge, and a super attack. You can double tap to dash, can mix jump
Yeah.
attacks for air combos.
It's not that
launchers, and
like
attack
intensive.
dodges to keep the pressure up. Then there's the special attack, which can be performed either on the ground, in the air, or while dodging for different attacks. Each one has different properties, like Donnie and Casey pulling people in, Raph and April being able to mix it with their dashes.
Oh my god, she just grabs the camera.
Others we are there too. Air attacks usually let out a big area of effect slam to take out a lot of enemies, and the dodge super is great for flying through them. You can build up your
Damn.
power by either doing combos or by taunting. For combos, you have to reach a
To
certain
say I like
threshold of hits to earn
Urasagi isn't
and if you're hit
weird, even in Japanese.
lose the combo, but the whole bar as well.
I
If
know.
you want, you get the whole bar automatically, but get locked in place, which leads to good footage.
Who's Pizza Face?
Down to breathing room, I become an insufferable.
Oh, there's Chrome Dome.
There is
Yeah,
Chrome.
I remember fighting him. Yeah.
jerk who taunts at the worst possible moments.
Oh.
It's a fantastic combat system, the perfect party game where anybody can just pick up and play and have fun, either button
Yeah.
mashing or trying to string moves together to up their combo. Back to the first level, and we see the game's next big positive. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
Does it
Burn
have
found
sprite-based models rather than 3D ones, and not only
assessing
that,
toy action figure in the original toy line. Oh.
it's magnificent.
Oh.
The work that was put into the backgrounds gets put on full display. The level itself
Oh.
of the TV station is super fun in how you get to go from the front desks to the offices through the sets of different TVs.
It's crazy.
Finally making it to the control center. The levels themselves do a great job of telling a story independent of the actual plot. Part of the
It's
game's allowed
amazing how much detail is on here.
You'll find
Yeah.
plot points in all sorts of different situations, like typing at computers, talking on phones, even working on the shows themselves. It's a good thing they're so charming since they make up the lion's share of the enemies in the game. You'll fight some other guys like Mousers, Stone Soldiers, this f***ing thing. But for the you're gonna be fighting this Crayola collection of ninjas. The standard grunts without a weapon are a little more than combo fodder. The ones with tonfas that fall from the ceiling can seriously piss off. So many combo strings were ended by these guys just coming out of nowhere. There are shield guys that require you to either get behind them or do a heavy swing to kill them. It's less thinking critically on how to take out an enemy and more frustrating. I am playing an arcade beat 'em up specifically to avoid thinking. They are lovely. They are so much fun to hit, or we might have issues. When you eventually make it to the end, you square off with Bebop in the first boss battle.
Bebop.
Something not preserved from the classic beat-em-up era is the boss fights being unfair horse. Bebop used simple attacks, shooting his gun, sending in henchmen, and his charge attack. I will say that with the jump being just a little sluggish, these attacks can be annoying since your lateral movement options kinda don't exist. The dodge has horizontal movement down pat, but moving up and down fast, it's just not happening. He's no trouble though as we take him down. Before we take back Krang's head though, Rocksteady comes in and steals it anyway.
There he is.
To get to the next level, we do have to see what makes story mode and arcade mode so different. We're not only getting a cute overworld, but we also get to visit April's boss and get tasked to collect his old headlines for points. What do points get you? Shouldn't you be grateful you're just getting points in the first place? Not just that, but we also have challenges to complete for each stage.
No offense, I recommend the fan game rescue puzzle. Pure fan beat 'em up. Nice. Don't get hit for the entire stage? No.
Fly you from out of nowhere. Sometimes you need to know where enemies come from specifically on each screen to avoid damage. I think the challenges are a fun addition that encourage you to use your whole toolkit, but the
they stole the wheels off the... I can't remember the name of their vehicle.
But you know, you could just not do it.
I forgot it too, actually.
They're the definition of optional. I'm not even sure if you get points out of them, so they're worthless. On to level 2, and we're right where the last level left off. Inside the TV studio with the wheels of our ride beams.
Yeah, this has not been good in beat 'em ups. Yeah, it's never been good to have the access to this.
And the infinite power pizza that lets you use your super moves infinitely for a short time. You can also see another difference in this mode to arcade mode as we level up. When you reach a certain threshold of enemies defeated, you level up and get an upgrade to a base stat. Either more health, more lives, get another bar to do super moves, or access to the aerial and dodge supers. This is a fun way to give you more boosts the more you go on without complicating the experience too much. It's not something like Scott Pilgrim with active RPG elements. They're more like random bonuses you get for doing a good job. As you go through the level, you can find new ninja variants like the yellow ones that toss boomerangs and the pink ones that wind up for a big hit. The boomerangs can be annoying to deal with since
they're throwing
under them, and the pink ones are just good practice for throwing, which
I forget what they're called.
I don't really like since there isn't a dedicated grab button. Instead, you just run into the guys.
He suplexed them.
Invincible during this whole process.
Yeah,
love that.
Suplex.
It's suboptimal. As you go through the level, you find not only Irma, who has her own set of collectibles.
Who's Irma?
She's a character in the original show. She's essentially April's friend. And depending on the series, she might be a Krang. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that was a thing in the 2012 version.
That's what they were stealing the car parts for.
Just like out of Turtles in Time. Visually, it's incredible.
Well, the game review gonna be all spoilers. Play the game first. We've already played the game. Like, me and Fable have beat it. We went it with my friends Raikoi and Karst.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you're gonna watch something like this, of course it's gonna be fucking spoilers. What?
Don't worry, we'll be...
I'm sorry to be rude, but
anyway.
Yeah, me and Matt have played this game. I played this game like 4 times now.
We have this game. I played this game.
The skateboard is a little harder to control than your regular turtle, and the majority of the enemies in this level are these little fly guys.
Oh yeah, I hate those guys. They're made by Baxter, obviously.
Bit harder to land hits on than you think they'd be. Spectacle-wise, I think it makes up for it fine enough, but this level has the challenges to not be hit and not to be hit by any obstacles. Said than done when they're flying in from out of nowhere. The boss is against the Turtle Tenderizer, and sadly...
it's called the Turtle Tenderizer? I forgot about that.
It's Bebop and Rocksteady. Of course it's something stupid like that.
Impossible to pin down.
Yeah.
The body of the car even hurts you, or if it's just the wheels that do. I almost end up losing all my lives, but thankfully it's over and we move on. A quick note while we're all here, all 4 of the original Turtle voices are back for this game, which is a treat.
Really?
To be protected at all costs.
Florida man offers $10,000, $10,000 for safe return of his stolen monkey.
What the hell?
Well, I will offer you a lot.
However, April, Splinter, Casey, and Shredder all have new voice actors who only show up in the additional voiceover section, which, cold-blooded, but okay. Everyone still sounds fantastic, except Shredder.
Oh.
Destroy the turtle.
Yeah, he doesn't sound as threatening here.
I don't know, man. That's not what I hear when I think Shredder. He sounds way too young to me. I'm probably just spoiled on James Avery, Scotty Ray, and Kevin Michael Richardson and all on.
They're all really good.
I brought back some takeout, so let's get down and pig out.
All right.
The hell?
Over professional who applied their craft in a job I could only ever dream of. Let me show you how it's done. All right, this is my Shredder audition.
Okay, well, okay, here we go. Let's see.
Pesky turtles. All right, please cast me. I'm kind of between jobs right now. On to level 4. And
Oh, that was horrible.
Someone abducts Bebop while Rocksteady runs away with Krang's head. Here we're introduced to the
God.
ninjas who can hold you in place and let the other ones wail on you. We also have to deal with the archer ninjas who fire a single arrow and decide their job is done as they just leave. We also get to see
I
me
love that.
as a foot soldier. This level takes place in a zoo, which has a great atmosphere with the
You guys, this scene is perfect. It's really gotta be a good moment.
and
Yeah.
cute background animals. Not only do we find more journals for Irma and headlines for April's boss, but you also find a disgusting bug. Who the heck is that?
Oh.
Showing my turtle naivete here for not immediately
Attila.
recognizing one of the punk frogs. Same
Ah.
for the boss, Ground, Chuck, and Dirtbag. These are like kicks.
Never heard of them before.
Right, like that Undertale Vor guy. They're
Uh-huh.
a tag team, boss, where you gotta take on both members at once.
I had never heard of them before this game.
Buried underground, making holes for you to fall.
Of course he's called Dirtbag.
To blind you, while Ground Chuck stays above ground, being an actual threat. He has Rocksteady and Bebop's charge attack while mixing it with horn missiles. Since he doesn't get
I
dazed,
can't unhear the Shredder.
find a good time to get a shot in.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. The best Shredder voice is definitely from 03. That is just truth. He is the most threatening. He is the most vicious. He is ready to murder the turtles in cold blood for any reason.
It does make it a thrilling
They will
fight.
never get a
Bebop
string
and
food
Rocksteady
in a
gave
day.
you plenty of room to breathe. These guys don't give you an inch. After disposing of them, we follow Krang's head underground for King of the Spill. Where a bunch
Of course they
rats
do.
steal it. This level takes place in the subway, so we have to spend a good amount of time worrying about the red line train actually running on time for once and turning us into roadkill. These pink ninjas love to enter the screen by throwing shurikens and will retreat every now and again to do the same.
Oh.
They are one of the worst for ruining combos and should be a priority.
Alright.
That's New York style,
Makes
but
sense.
it's still good after being run over by a train. Huh, it's actually better. We also get the Mousers as enemies for the first time, which are really just
I do love that.
that can latch onto you and leave you vulnerable. There are also massive Mousers that can vomit up more.
Good moment.
Alone.
Just make
We
sure.
find yet another punk frog, and I'm so excited that I'm forcing Future Jack
Oof.
to put in the first piece of art that comes up when you Google punk frog fan.
What?
This is legally binding and cannot be deleted from the script.
What the hell? Legally binding.
This level is the Rat King, who is the first just a guy in the whole game so far. The fact
I know nothing about him.
is astounding. His fight is the simplest so far as he has two
Oh, he's the.
either
Oh yeah, he has the Pied Piper thing.
or
I've
something
explained
away
so
from
many
rats.
times in the
What is
2000
the point to do? The rats are like
in
death
the
by a thousand
IDW
cuts.
comic,
They'll
he
latch
is
on you
not
for a
just a
second like
guy.
mouse
He's like a
taking
weird
off a seat.
god.
They'll take
It's
a belt.
weird.
He's the god of rats or something?
He's not a god per se, but he's like a mystical being with a bunch of others. I still say he's essentially the main protagonist, antagonist of what do you call it? Of
The newest game.
of the newest game, yeah. You can't convince me otherwise. I don't care what anyone says, he is. No, he's
By the
not
way,
Sun Wu,
you
he's
don't
not
really care
Rat
about
Sun
it at first
Wukong.
until the
He
Rat King
wishes.
comes in with the throw to deal the real damage. The only
He does
real
look like
problem
he
with the throw is
wishes.
how when you have the Rat King cornered, he'll jump away and be free from damage for a few seconds, which can get old when he's close to death and just barely escaping. He still gets his butt kicked all the same.
Yeah.
He shows back up to steal the head. I love
Of course he
Rose
does.
Right here, she's just pointing like, "You'll see in this." The next level is in the mall, with us starting outside and having to work our way in from the food
Oh.
all the way to the arcade. Here we see Foot Clan members just trying to function in normal society.
Oh my god.
Toidle's ruining it. We get introduced to the,
The
Super Spider
Toidles.
Bots, which I can only imagine made a super
Yeah.
rat toy.
Get
They
those
every one to take
turtles!
down if you forget you have a dodge button. Which, shock of shocks, I did for a little. I have to get a little funky with how I handle this stage, since one of the challenges is to clear it without using any super moves. I have to rely more on throws and environmental attacks. These dark blue ninjas have maces that make them almost possible to approach and give them a really strong attack,
Whoa.
but leaves them vulnerable once they use it.
Alright.
They're like the shield enemies, but more fun to fight since you have more options to deal with them, like sliding under their mace when they swing it. Not only do we find April's co-worker Vernon in this stage, but the third of hopefully 20 more punk frogs. Keep them coming, baby.
Napoleon.
This level ratchets up the difficulty a fair bit by throwing a lot more enemy waves at you between health picks.
And the spiders. Horrible.
But it's clear when we get to the boss why that
Again, Shredder is an accountant. Wait, what?
that all other gamer girls look up to, Tempestra. I say it becomes clear when we get to the boss because save for
I know nothing about her.
easiest boss in the game. She has 3 attacks, summoning one each of either bootleg Bebop or Rocksteady, summoning them both at once, or making a little electrical field. These two
Oh.
only have 1 attack each, which
Yeah, these are from the movie.
belch or spinning around
Second
on the ground. And when they're out of the
mutation.
same time, they can actually interrupt each other.
Or new mutation, sorry.
She's an absolute cakewalk of a boss. Then this random foot soldier comes
Ugh.
in, didn't realize the level was over, and gets out. Turns out we were duped since the arcade machine actually had Krang's body in it, and Bebop and Rocksteady make off with it. Roof Runnin' Reptiles is next, and since
Oh.
it takes place on the New York skyline, it's full of bottomless pits, which of course the level tasks you with never falling in. Thank you very much, stage.
Ugh.
You're used to the lime ninjas who have spears that will charge directly
You made a comment about the foot soldiers working in an office job. Ah, that's what you
we get to the top.
was fighting a video game character with a video game. Ah.
I know better and save it till there aren't enough enemies to make good use of it, and with the one shot I do get off. I play games for a living, folks. That's what I signed up for. After
Oh,
that, you run into
God.
these white ninjas who are the only ones that know what they're
I
doing.
mean, I wish I played games for a living.
They're tricky since there's no real way of
Oh,
telling when
Lord.
they're just gonna counter hit whatever you try.
We all
The
do.
best time to attack is when they're about to go for a
Oh.
double slash since they can't defend themselves. Once you get to the end of the level, it's time to fight against Bebop and Rocksteady at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly that, taking on both Bebop and Rocksteady in tandem. Except for
Yeah.
Bebop's new attack where he breaks his gun and fires it all over the place.
Ah, that's. I remember when I hate that.
Dash attack at the same time, and if they run into each other, they'll get dizzy. It's
Oh.
a simple touch, and it's honestly a really fun boss fight for how it tests you. This is level 1 and 2's
They are both idiots, so it makes sense they would hit each other.
that they're out of
Yeah.
commission. Wingnut, who I'm only 50%
Oh.
sure was in the original cartoon, takes off with the torso, and we have to chase him through the
Wingnut!
Panic
This
in the
is-
Sky is another skateboard style of
This
level, but with a lot more
literally
ninjas and
Panic in the
minigun
City is
jets.
such a
It's another stage
freaking
that
good
asks you to do a
song.
hit
Like
list,
it
but
is
no thank
so
you, I have a life
Saturday
and
morning
I'm
cartoons vibes. It is beautiful.
Stop laughing.
Wait,
Another board level
wait. What did he say earlier? We didn't catch it.
hit list, which no thank you.
Yeah,
Life-
hitless is really hard to do that on this.
Stop laughing.
Oh, about having a life.
To burst with traps, but luckily you can lure foot soldiers.
This is a really good song.
Oh yeah,
Also,
no.
there's the Ninja Turtle blimp in the background. Surfs up in the city. I'm fired up and feeling gritty.
Yeah, it is seriously Saturday morning cartoons vibes. It's beautiful.
And also, this
Yeah.
might be me being a moron, but my depth perception is
How did you miss that?
His depth perception
when in
sucks.
reality, I'm continuously missing that,
I
which
guess
is
so.
really great when I'm low on health. It's really annoying, but there's actually something in the stage to help you calm down.
What?
Game soundtrack is amazing.
He's right.
The man responsible for the best part of Sonic Mania is back to make the soundtrack
Oh!
of the game, and it's on another
Cool.
level. Every stage has an instantly recognizable beat to it, with some mixing in the original Turtles theme, with others being all
The
original.
turtles find space for a whole blimp. I don't know.
I don't know, Platty.
The 2 board levels, since they're vocal. Mutants Over Broadway is fantastic, but Panic
This-
in the Sky is just...
Yeah. It feels like something the original Power Rangers would have. And it's great.
This is the theme of Wingnut! Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Wingnut more than makes up for the easier bosses before him. He has a missile salvo.
It's a really good song.
A shield
It
attack
is.
to keep you away, and the worst of his attacks is the one where he flies all around the screen. It's super hard to predict where he's gonna show up, but jumping around like a
Yeah.
maniac is probably the safest way to avoid him. Crisis on Coney Island comes next, and
Oh,
right off the bat,
Leatherhead.
there's more new enemies, like the plunger guys who have crappy melee range, but can
Ugh.
snipe you from across the screen if you don't focus on them. Same with the Glade.
I like that Wingnut is just in the ground.
Don't worry about it.
Ground after missing. It's well happened attacking anything that moves that I. Oh, yes, my favorite.
Uh-oh, why am I here?
Buddy, to be the best part of the game. Later on, these black ninjas show up who are like the light pink ninjas, but a lot
Rasputin.
tougher. This stage is also one of the best visually. Having the whole thing take place in an amusement park shockingly opens it up to a lot of visual variety and fun progression, like starting out on the beach, going through the
And it's just in the background.
games. It was also here that
I want to clip
realized
that. I'm
there
too
was
busy
a
laughing my ass off.
hydrants. This game is too charming for its own good. After that, you get a mini game of blowing up punk frog balloons.
Oh.
I'm starting to think the devs had a sick obsession with the punk frogs. I've gone from knowing nothing about them to knowing more than I ever wanted to.
Listen-
After that, and getting
There's
launched...
not-
Listen, everyone's allowed to have their. Go ahead.
There's really not much to know about them at one point, to my understanding and my knowledge of the old cartoon. Oh, sorry, the '87 cartoon. They only came out like once or twice, and it was mostly just dealing with Louisiana Leatherhead. So he had the accent and everything. You know which one I'm talking about.
Louisiana accent.
Yeah, he had the Cajun accent. Yeah.
I'm not doing another thing about now doing that. I'm about to make a name for myself now on our fable.
Yeah, he literally
about
had
to-
the Cajun accent. Or the over-exaggerated one.
The Cajun accent is a lot harder to do than like Mississippian or the Texan. It's a lot because it's a lot fluider.
Yeah.
By one of the floorboards for the umpteenth time in the level.
Oh.
We're off with the boss, Leatherhead.
Ah.
He has a Cajun accent, which I'm
See?
pretty certain is the only accent made to be completely inimitable. I've tried, and the results are embarrassing. Leatherhead is barely the focus of his own boss, as every couple of seconds, the punk frogs
Oh.
ride past on a roller coaster to throw out items. Some
Oh.
of them are helpful, like pizzas, while others are explicitly to try to kill me to take over my...
I guess the creators did just really like the punk frog.
Leatherhead is super simple. He'll try to pop out of one of these grates and chomp you before he misses, and you get to wail on him a bit. Just as I'm about to finish him off, the frogs come back in and kill steal me with a barrel, you
Oh.
scum buckets! Also, one of their lines when they ride past is... A few screws loose his next and starts off with a lot of vehicular
I didn't
points
know that.
as I'm hit by a bike and a car within the first few
Okay,
seconds.
this
This
sucks.
stage has a much bigger focus on the robot enemies
Yeah.
than the other stages, including these Mega Mousers that spit out...
Oh, I remember
when
these.
destroyed. The level takes you from the alleyways into the packaging center of a big warehouse before finally getting to an old
Oh my
electronics
God.
taken over by the foot. If I had to
Because
pick
Leatherhead
one
harassed the
reason
punk
this is
frogs
one
and
of the
got-
most memorable levels in the game, it's on the short side and its theme just isn't as strong as other levels. It does have nice...
They want revenge. Oh, the punk frogs want revenge against Leatherhead.
Just wish there was a little more.
They don't deserve it.
Thankfully, that's made up for with the boss fight against Metalhead.
Oh, it's my favorite boy, Metalhead.
Distance and discourage
I know.
I love
Where
him.
he throws
He's
up
so
a shield and
stupid.
forces you to hit a missile back at him to disable it. Turns out he was guarding Krang's legs, and we get back on the hunt all the way to Dinosaur Stampede.
Ah, these guys.
New breed of enemies, the Triceratons. If you ask
The
me,
alien
characters
Triceratops.
in comics and not the cartoons, Triceratons would firmly be off that list, but no, these
Yeah.
guys came from the Murder Turtle comics. Triceratons are tanky, hit hard, and can dash in from off-screen like Bebop and Rocksteady. After fighting
They're
Bobby
crazy
Wolverine the
and
foot fight,
silly.
Triceratons are a great way to keep you paying attention, especially when you realize they come in variants with shields that need to be broken and can even poke you out of the air with their horns. Putting enemies like this in makes sure that the game doesn't become too brain dead and you actually have to think a bit more critically about how you're prioritizing enemies.
Yeah.
Now, I know earlier I said that...
Nothing but hate for the Triceratons. Genesis fighting game nightmares. Ah.
Not to mention that the stage taking place in a museum means there's no end to the variety of environments.
Ooh.
Through a dinosaur exhibit, to a storage area, to a medieval room, to an internet
Yeah.
portal.
I make the footman and them just get caught in it.
The stage, you square up with Captain Zorak, who takes the
Ah,
of
Zorak.
the Triceraton enemies like the Blaster and Shield, while mixing them with a constant stampede of dinosaurs. Hey, wait a minute! Despite being a Triceratops, he might have the least amount of health out of all the enemies in the game.
Oh, he's a commander.
A few hits to put him on death's door. After we batter him, we're
Ah,
on the next stage.
we know who it is.
Fly. This level is
Stock
under the
Fly.
museum.
Baxter Stockman.
You mean
This
Baxter
level-
Stockfly?
So it's not exactly hard.
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
I will have
Feels
you
like
only
every
say his
scene comes with a
name
new hazard.
in the right
This
way.
level's just filled with these dorks. I'm
Oh
talking
my
about these
God.
little sparks in the ground.
In my
They look like
presence,
background
other than that,
elements,
you
but
are
if you
allowed
touch
to
them,
say
you
it
get a
wrong
shock.
otherwhere
You can
else.
turn them off by destroying this box in the background.
Well, yeah, he is about destroying this box.
Just a background element. After that,
Oh.
it's a room where the ground is constantly vomiting up these fly guys, then a room where 80% of the floor is untouchable since it's taken...
Oh yeah, I hated
The
this.
positive is that the enemies are more likely to step on them than you are. There's a room with freezer machines that stops you dead in your tracks, electric wall traps. This stage goes...
I
through
remember
freezer
this.
traps, and it makes it more annoying to revisit than anything. It has positives. I love the music and the background of the foot soldiers getting picked.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
My general apathy for the stage, sadly...
Baxter
is-
Stockman.
Baxter
Stockfly.
Stockman spends most of the fight
Oh my
in the
God.
background, swatting him significantly harder, or in the
I should be
background,
I forgot he
streaming.
had
lasers in
lasers.
places I'm not
I should
even.
be streaming
It's my
Fuga
least
right now,
favorite
but
stage
instead I'm
where the
enjoying
pace
this,
doesn't
so
take
you're
more
so
than
you're
a
at
few
fault.
minutes. We figure out there were two legs.
Oh my
Baxter
God.
assembled Krang's body and runs off to
Oh.
Dimension X. Technodrome.
I forgot Dimension X was a thing.
Off the bat, this level has my favorite stage theme. I love the synth beat and having a weird raspy voice just repeating. Is
Welcome to the Technodrome.
Two new enemies off the bat. The first is the orange foot soldier who can throw bombs that cut off a part of the screen until they blow up. And then there's the stone soldiers. They're Triceratons with their charge attack where they're invincible until it finishes, and they come in two variants, basic and packing heat. Luckily, they crumble real easily in radical mode. Give up all 3 bars of super to get super strong attacks for a limited time. The actual level is really fun. The Technodrome is clearly falling apart, but it's still full of laser weapons, traps, and generally looks really nice. Once we get on elevator, we have to fight the first mid-boss in the game, General Trag. He's a super stone soldier with a rocket launcher who tears apart.
I mean, you figure out the key to being Chrome Dome right away.
He has great attacks both up close and
I don't remember.
But if you keep hitting him,
it's been a bit.
He'll die. The second leg of the stage plays more into the dilapidated feel with broken screens, giant chasms, and this one ninja who decides that life isn't worth living anymore. Once we get to the end of the stage, we have to fight Chrome Dome, who at first seems invincible as none of our attacks even phase him. It's only after he jumps into the screen and goes full Battletoads that we find out how to hurt him.
Yeah.
Full Battletoad.
It took us a bit to figure that out.
I don't know why destroying the barrel is the trigger for him to be hittable, but it took me a few lives to realize it and left me fighting way more ninjas than I needed to. It's a cool and unique fight, but maybe a control console or something else comes up, something you immediately recognize as important. Since he's not in the Technodrome, we head off to hunt Shredder down in the jungles, but did find all of Vernon's tapes, and there's 100 points in it for us if we return them. Points! The Lost Bridge Enemies is next and starts off with another hoverboard level over a chasm dodging meteorites. I think the game gets a little excited and throws a few too many, but who am I to judge? It's a little harder to really judge how the level progresses along like the other stages. I've never really been to volcanic asteroids, so I'm just gonna assume that's a really good recreation. You do get to see Slash in the background.
I don't remember it at all. So there.
The level does take a nosedive, however, when we get to these things.
Oh yeah, I don't know what they are.
To hit them being minuscule if you die,
they're horrifying.
Vulnerable if you try to hit them. It gets worse.
Why did it look like he's trying to teabag the camera when he jumps towards it? I don't know.
Why are there still foot soldiers attacking me with mechanic tools? We deal with a few more stone warriors and foot soldiers on the way to the boss fight with Slash, who has a very upsetting amount of turtle skulls in his lair. He wields swords just
who's Slash?
But he doesn't get
depending on the media, he's essentially evil turtle.
Oh.
Much better at lobbing giant rocks and spinning in a shell, which doesn't make him dizzy. Wow, really expected more logical consistency from Teenage Mutant
of course.
Ninja. I retract my statement. After Slash, we finally get entrance to Krang's
In fact, Slash started out as a dum-dum in the show, and one episode later he became super intelligent. Of course he did.
The reason I say depending on the media is because he's different every time. He's evil a lot of the time, but he's always an evil turtle. It's just different things. In the 2012 version, he was literally Raph's pet turtle, which is kind of weird and very meta, but yeah.
Kind of weird, yeah. Bizarro turtle, basically. Yeah. There's also in the Turtles in Time, there were these group of 4 mutants, clone turtles that were supposed to fight the turtles, but they never really did, but yeah.
Spike floors. It's easily the most challenging level, but
I just remember those.
Doesn't completely overwhelm you with traps.
Why do I remember those?
Plus,
lots of traps.
This in the last level rather than level 12. The Triceratons even show back up, and you notice that they make a little pitter-patter noise when they run.
Really? I never noticed that.
Adorable. We get and don't do this to me, game. The level also is an endurance test with much bigger gaps between health items. You get rooms where they test Mausers is too many Mausers, and a final power.
Well, this is a team beat 'em up.
We've spent the whole game trying to stop him from getting his body, and this fight certainly makes it feel climactic. Not only does Krang have his own boss theme, but the body itself has plenty of attacks, like splitting itself up, kicking, shooting out a flail. It's a thrilling fight, but we beat him all the same. However, the fight isn't over just yet.
Oh, yeah.
You fell for my diversion.
What?
Have a surprise for you.
Oh, yeah, this part. Shredder! The real boss.
The world is mine.
Ready for revenge.
Certain genre of music I can't get enough of, and that's hit jazz. You aren't
Mm.
ready for where this next sentence is going, but I promise it explains everything.
Does it?
Football Fighters is a phenomenal game with a phenomenal
What?
soundtrack. Look out for Goku Black's theme. It's gonna be the sound of the summer. One of the characters in the game is Hit. Tough, no-nonsense assassin character. Never jokes,
Alright.
is not silly, kills Goku, tough dude, right? What do you think Hit's theme song sounds like?
Oh! It's this kind of jazz. I love it. It's like Cowboy Bebop jazz. And the big O.
Assassin gets a completely unfitting jazz track. Scientists are still trying to figure out an explanation, but somehow, the fact that it doesn't fit him in any way at all wraps back around to it fitting
You know,
him
they occur to me.
perfectly.
Why didn't the Shredder try cloning the turtles?
Example of
I don't know, actually.
that the Shredder being played in by Ghost
Huh.
Killa and Raekwon the chef of the Wu-Tang Clan makes no sense and makes perfect
Wait, what? This was made by the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yes, we told you when we were playing the game, actually.
I'm sorry, I forgot, okay? I just didn't expect to remember that it came from the Wu-Tang Clan to be singing
Yeah.
about the Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Okay. This is my life now.
We Ain't Came to Lose is my favorite track. It's so good.
We came to lose.
Too perfect for this world. If you let it play long enough, you even get to hear the lyrics switch to the Turtles' perspective. It's an amazing touch on an amazing boss. That's all without talking about the fight itself. They give you a pizza to heal up, but having to take on two bosses back to back is daunting, and Shredder solidifies his position as top dog. He can counter your hits, send you flying with lightning,
Damn.
with dive kicks, and worst of all, summon Shadow Clone.
This
If
time's
you don't
up.
pay attention, you can lose track of the real one and get pummeled.
This hit is cool like that, yeah.
But it is a thrill of a fight. However, you're not done yet. Shredder
Oh, yeah.
get away as we return to New York to see Krang took over the Statue of Liberty. More like Statue of Tyranny.
It looks like a drift.
Okay, game, I'll let you have this.
I just like that it says Statue of Tyranny, no more liberty.
Oh my goodness.
Also, the first way it fights, it looks like it's a Rock'em Sock'em Robot.
This is
It
the
really
most
does.
imposing boss so far. It takes up a good percentage
Yeah.
of the screen. So I just wish it was a little tougher. Every one of the statue's attacks is a simple affair of either moving up, down, or jumping to dodge. None of the attacks really keep you from wailing on it. Even the Fist Slam is deceptively easy. It's still a super fun fight, and it's the best thing since JoJo's to include the national anthem as part of their boss theme.
Wait, what?
There's a little more challenge to it. After it's done, you're far from finished as Shredder takes Mutagen and goes Super Shredder. The final boss is here, and
I do love this design for it.
not only is his theme a rock version of the previous theme, but his attacks are all super flashy and cool. At the
Yeah.
risk of being a bit easy to dodge, it's not a great sign when his Ring of Fire attack can be dodged by not moving. That's not to say he's easy, he's completely invulnerable except for when he uses his shield, weirdly enough, and his dash attack is super unpredictable, but when it's down the easiest stage to complete the no-hit challenge on, it's definitely noticeable. I can taunt mid-attack
We had
for
we had a hard time with him.
toughest, it's still a great final boss. And I even managed to fail
Yeah.
the challenge of not using the super attack in the
No.
last possible section. Haha. Yes, I know, I am quite the gaming specimen. After we shred the Shredder, we get a news report saying that we have one group of green semi-aquatic warriors from a major metropolitan area to thank. It's the name you all know. It starts with a T. Punk Frogs. I'm telling you right now, these guys were the devs. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
finally show up. Let's just get his story mode ending real quick. All right, nice. Casey isn't unlockable for beating the game is pretty.
Wonder who would probably for collateral damage after the map.
Hi,
No coming
madam.
out, Fran-
That's Shredder's revenge. If
Not coming out of France pocket. Yeah, I know. Hello, madam.
me going through painstaking detail to explain each stage didn't tip
Ooh.
off, I love this game. It's one of the most charming, fun, and replayable games I've played in a long time, and captures
Makes
everything
sense.
a great beat 'em up should be. I don't expect it to, but I'd love for this to be the start of a new era of people taking chances on this genre. It's
I hope so. Oh, I forgot about that.
fans of the genre and casual ones. And you can even market it to your friends who have an unhealthy lust for April O'Neil.
That's why we have the turtle cards. I was gonna focus
Okay, do
on.
this again, but with the Power Rangers.
I mean, they are. Rita's Revenge is now out. Pretty much.
Rita hasn't revenged enough.
Oh my god. We're gonna have to end the thing. Thank you all so much, and I hope you like what we're doing. Go do all that stuff. Anyway, see you later.
But why?